The very first question we're going to kick it off with, Brian, is exactly what you just said. And this question actually came from eMoney, as the person that asked this. They said, what was your luckiest, and this is us collective, what were your luckiest financial decisions? How much of your wealth building do you think has been about discipline versus luck? So was luck necessary to put you on the scoreboard?
Discipline versus luck is how they kind of...
That was the framework, yep.
Okay, that's the framework, but I think it's important. I mean, all you guys have heard this. This is kind of a Captain Obvious statement, but it's worth repeating, is that what is luck, actually, when you get to the reality of where actually the rubber meets the road, it's actually you having preparation and then that intersecting with an opportunity that comes your way. So it's not, it's not like somebody gives you bags of money and says, here's your wealth. But without a doubt, there are moments in my life where my journey has been impacted by what you would call luck. Mm-hmm. I mean, let's go through a few of these because it's not just one.
Yeah.
This building that we're in right now, everybody knows that we talk about this building, and this is probably generationally something that will be good for your family, my family. Yep. Based upon just the location where it was. Well, you have to remember here where's the luck in this situation is that in 2021, as we went from 2020 to 2021, everybody was scared to death of we were in the middle of this
global pandemic going on.
We had people working from home, so everybody who owned commercial real estate
unsure
or retail
if people were
real
ever
estate
go back to the office at all.
Yeah, didn't know if they're going back, didn't know how retail was going to be impacted by this. There's a lot of chaos going on. So we heard that there was a pocket listing for a prominent piece of real estate. And Bo and I mean, here's where you say it's luck, is that we kind of did the numbers.
Started crunching them,
figured out if we could pull this off, kind of took a chance with the risk because it looked like a big bite of the apple, to be honest with you. And then we grabbed that brass ring of opportunity. And that's the thing. And then I also think, we've talked about, I think about the fact that I watched Clark Howard in November of 2005, November, and then I also got my iPod in that exact same period of time. Those two things intersected with the fact that I started the podcast in 2006, January of 2006. I think about the fact that we got offered an ad with Progressive Commercial to do over-the-road truckers.
Not something we were seeking out, something we were looking for.
And at the last minute, because it was supposed to be only a podcast series, the ad producer says, we need 2 videos. And we were like, we don't do videos. You hired podcasters. We don't do videos. He goes, go find somebody with a camera. I'll interview them. We're going to make this happen. You're going to do 2 videos for these truckers. So we agreed to it so we could get paid on it. And then it went so well, voila, luckily, we landed on YouTube.
Yep.
I mean, so you think about those things. And then you think about some of the people that work for us, the luck of who we met, that it set in motion this spider web of intersections that created additional opportunities. So, but Bo, I'll leave this part for you. The question part of this is, was it the discipline or was it the luck that made you wealthy? And you and I both talked about this. I don't know that we think luck has been a multiplier, an amplifier, but is that what actually created the wealth?
No, it's not the thing that created it. See, even before some of those happened, we were already making the decisions that we talked to you guys about. We were living on less than we were making. We were saving for the future. We were exercising deferred gratification. We were making our money go further than our peers. We were already navigating those things. And because we had been doing those things, we were positioned well to be able to capitalize on these opportunities. So I wouldn't say that the luck is what allowed us to achieve a certain level of wealth. It certainly did amplify it, and it certainly did help boost it. But it was really the behaviors back from, you rewind and listen to all the stories we tell you guys from early on when we were just starting out. It was that kind of mindset that ultimately led to wealth. It's just being prepared for those opportunities to be able to grab them has been an awesome thing that's allowed that to be amplified. And that's even inside the Millionaire Next Door, Dr. Stanley, one of the things he talks about, one of the traits of millionaires is they recognize market opportunities. And that doesn't mean like going to, buy cheap stocks. I mean, that can be part of it, but they recognize opportunities and they capitalize on it. Well, part of making sure you're always prepared is making sure you're always in a position where if an opportunity does present itself, you're there to be able to take advantage of it. Just like we were with this building, just like we were with the video and with the YouTube. And I think that you can all do that. And when you look back, you say, oh, wow, yeah, there were some things that kind of fell into place, but had I not positioned myself in such a way to be at the place where that thing happened, then it wouldn't have been possible.
I think about, anybody who's read Millionaire Mission, my book, you can tell it's kind of a love letter to my father, my late father who passed away back in 2000. But I can't help but think about forever during my childhood, we'd ride by, it's right next to, there was a tractor repair place because that's where my dad would go get his chainsaw sharpened. And we'd go, get the supplies to change out the oil on the lawnmowers and stuff. But he'd always, every time we'd ride by that section of town, he'd be like, this intersection right here, this is going to be something big someday. If we ought to, I ought to go invest, or whoever owns this or buys this is going to really make a lot of money someday. And I heard this for years. And my dad never did anything with it. And then, sure enough, that intersection is
turned
huge
into
now.
something.
I mean, if you could see all the shopping centers, and then it's kind of a new town center of my old hometown is right at that same intersection where those two roads came across. And it does make you think, because I think about, like, back to this building since that was the first example. If we didn't have 6 figures of liquid capital, 7 figures of liquid capital. I don't know why the numbers are off. The 7 figures of liquid capital, the whole thing doesn't happen.
That's right.
So that's the part, is that you can see things that are out there that are opportunities, but if you don't do the preparation, if you don't actually have the action, it never turns into luck. It's just basically you dreaming and pontificating on what could be.